Okay, several people have asked about the ear tube surgery that I had, and I was going to take a minute to kind of explain what that is. So as a child and even as an adult, I get a lot of frequent ear infections, and that comes from fluid that builds up in your middle ear, and that's caused by what they call eustachian tube dysfunction. Your eustachian tubes connect from your ear down to the back of your throat, and if you have small eustachian tubes, sometimes the fluid can accumulate in the ear. And the purpose of the tube is to essentially put a hole in your eardrum, which helps equalize the pressure and allow fluid to drain down. So once as a child, I had ear tube surgery, and then I've had it done already twice as an adult. And the last time I had it done, the tubes are in there for a while through the eardrum, and then eventually they work themselves out, they fall out, and then eventually the eardrum heals up. But because I was on my third one, and the last time the tubes came out, the holes remained in the eardrum, which the doctor said is fine because that's essentially what the tube is doing, is creating the hole. So I went a good 15, 20 years without any ear issues because those holes remained in my eardrums. And a couple months ago on a flight, I started to hear one ear was popping again. And that didn't happen when I had the holes. So I suspected that one of the holes had spontaneously healed up after all these years, and that's indeed what happened. And that led to an ear infection around the holidays and when everybody had kind of the cold and the funk going on. And so I'm about 2 months in, or was about 2 months in, of just having fluid in the ear that wouldn't drain, couldn't hear, felt like I was underwater. Sometimes it was very full and hurt. Sometimes it popped. And then I was on a plane a couple weeks ago, and it kind of popped and fluid came out, so I perfed it a little bit, and we were hoping that was enough to kind of equalize, but it wasn't. So I went back to the ear doctor today, the guy I hadn't been to in 15 years, and he remembered me that I was kind of a problem child, and he was able to go ahead and just in his office, they numb the eardrum, they poke a hole. He went in and sucked out all the fluid that was behind the eardrum and then put this little tube in. And I'll put a picture of it, but it's a little tiny piece of plastic that kind of has a flange on each side that they put through the eardrum that, allows it to keep that hole. And then eventually it'll fall out again, and we'll see if the hole remains or if I have to do it again. But instantly I was hearing much better and things drained and my head was fine. Now I feel like everything's kind of loud because I've been 2 months of not really hearing well out of that ear. So that's what the ear tube surgery is. And it's one of those things it's an easy procedure. They do it in a lot of kids. I think it's more rare as an adult, but I've had it now 3 times as an adult. And it's worked well for me.